Speakers of Finland is made possible by our generous patrons. Special thanks to our supreme and master speakers, Omeji Cat Comet, Erisu Yamakawa, Alex Franco AV, Winebow Brood, Aurora White, Psyche, Azuta Starbreeze, Cletus Oreo, Lily Black, Bob CC, Mictor Rabentau, Anathus Moonscar, Pamela Isley, Elenriel Maximus, Codrith Novelist, Mira, Celestau Notrell, Lazy Boy, Luke Osborne, Tex, Kai Lin, Arthur Law, Biridan Derard, Cypup, Spencer Christmas, Celine DeLune, Edwin, Wibs the Wolf, Severa, Circa Barrakiel, Ventos Tia, Ryark Corvair, Leighton the House, Tony, Arcadia Lunashine, Framboise Zakaro, Bergie, Fudge, Sephiel, Cafe, Gregorian Cartus, Eros, Uana Nitsa, Tyler Curly Fries, Chibi Duo, Jay Zadama, Rorik X3, Rivicus, Nightwing's Butt, and Whoosh. Get early access to audio and video versions of the show, including the post-show, by supporting us at patreon.com/speakersxiv. Thank you. Good evening, Aorcians. Welcome to Speakers of Finland, episode 516. I'm Lakeel Bravestone, and I'm joined today by Georgi Wiston, Mela Vanadar, and Rollo Des. Hello. It is August the 8th, 2026, and we are back with another episode, of course. Today we're going to talk about a FanFest, post-FanFest press conference with Yoshi-P, and of course also the upcoming Moonfire Faire, as well as some other stuff. So, of course, including MogMail, speakersxiv.com/MogMail. Stay tuned for the post-show. We'll be answering questions from this syndicate, as always. Okay. That's the show. Don't think there's anything else to say at the top here.
Return to Raw?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Return to Raw. Literally talked about it moments before. Return to Raw for patrons. Due to circumstances beyond my control at this time, we must move Return to Roar ahead another week. So
how mysterious for people that don't watch the weekday streams.
We have to jump. I might have to make an executive decision right now to move it, to just cancel last month's Return to Roar and instead just return to regular schedule. So the next one, you know what, I'm doing it live on the 31st. On the 25th. That's the last Tuesday. Sorry, the calendar on this laptop. The calendar on this laptop has the American format where Sunday is the start of the week. So the 25th of August is when the next Return to Roar is. I'll explain very, very briefly. My main computer blew the fuck up and it is dead. So I'm using a Frankenstein computer right now to broadcast this episode. So until a new computer is available, I can't do Return to Roar, basically. We will still, everything else will run as normal on our streams. We were able to stream 14, and I think we will be able to stream any other game. It runs fine. The graphics card, which is the worst part of that computer, is one of the souls. Well, it can't be one of the soul survivors. It's one of the survivors of that computer. Yay, we still have that. So I can still play games. Okay, that's that. Let's move on to recent events. Moonfire Faire. Moonfire Faire returns.
You know why.
Okay, yeah. Well, there are no breasticles on display in this Moonfire Faire artwork.
That's what everyone's saying.
It is funny how people have complained about the lack of titillation on this particular Moonfire Faire advertisement.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing for anyone unless you're into goblin feet.
This is these are characters from two of the Watch and Makey quests, for those that are not familiar with them.
Is that Aunt Auntie is there too?
That is not Auntie T-Soul. That is a different.
Yeah.
That's a different Mamulja that makes juice.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Summaries here once more, with fireworks lighting the night sky and festive decorations adorning the streets below. The sandy shores of Costa del Sol offer the perfect respite for the sweltering heat, so it's time to dive right in and make a splash at the Moonfire Faire. Now, So yeah, this doesn't tell us much really, but
it's just nice art.
Yeah, they do, however, show us the rewards, and so we
the
can.
art does have the mount in it.
That's true.
Yeah, the inflatable Mog Raft is the mount that you see, which is
you will remember from that boat. Remember when we went on that boat?
Mm-hmm.
And it was the Splish Splash Park. That's where these are all from.
Yeah,
if you can remember.
And then we have some outdoor decorations: the lawn Mog Raft, the lawn Chocobo Raft, and the lawn Bomb Raft.
Yes, they have to include lawn to let you know that there will be no pool for you to put these in.
No,
that's true. But it's nice they've shown the next 2 years worth of mounts as well. Only one mount this time, the Chocobo, then the Bomb.
Yes,
easy winnings.
Easy. And the indoor items are just the posters and the tabletop poster. Moonfire Faire MMXXV advertisement.
So last year's.
And tabletop Moonfire Faire MMXXV advertisement.
That was the Baywatch one with the men in the
oh yeah, the wetsuit or whatever.
Wetsuits, yeah.
And then the Moonfire Faire MMXVII advertisement. So you can still get
this one, guys.
boobage.
This is the peak of Moonfire Faire when they showed full cheeks on display.
They did show full anymore. Cheeks. Yeah, there's that one, and then there's the other
legendary
one
moment
that with the big booba.
Yeah, well. That one was good.
Those
for sure.
Those are the two that I think most people cherish. for those that cherish the Moonfire Faire boob art.
I mean, this one was like
so a lot of expectations this
but it
year
was
for
like,
boobage.
Wow, they're just straight up doing that, are they? Cool,
yeah,
I guess.
Back then, that was shocking. Actually.
It was a bit of a shock.
Yeah,
I like this artwork for this year.
I think the artwork
cute,
is cute,
but it's.
I think the main problem with it is
so much booba.
Is that it doesn't. Yeah. Is that it doesn't have any character close up and facing towards you.
No.
Like the fact that the most forefront character is looking away from you, I think is weird composition, but that's just my opinion on it.
I don't know, man. I don't play 14 to jack off, so I think I'm good.
Exactly.
Liar.
Okay.
I wonder if there will be any fishing in it, or if this is not just simply not indicative of anything.
Well, no, those are the two people that are involved in the fishing Watchy quest, and the other two are the ones from the Culinarian/Alchemist Watchy quest. They're just indicating what they did.
Mm.
They've said that we are not getting art that directly corresponds to what's going on anymore.
I mean, these people very well could appear. They've generally started to show these NPCs as characters that appear once you complete the quest that you can talk to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's Moonfire Faire. I'm assuming we get the boat back, seeing as we're getting these furnishings.
It'd be crazy if we don't.
It also says ride a pleasure cruise. That's the
true.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that we're getting the boat back. It starts on the 12th of August and lasts until the 26th of August. So go there. Go to Limsa Minsa to start it as well at the F Castle.
The text for the quest, come rain or shine, ceaseless unrelenting shine, Mayaru will ensure adventurers are aware of the Moonfire Faire, doesn't fill me with confidence as to the plot, because the amount of times we've gone around just telling people about the current event is hard to count at this point.
Please,
I'm hoping that it actually has something fun to do, because Moonfire Faire usually has a fun little a threat plot. It's the bombs or whatever.
What's going to happen is this. Mayaru has started a cruise line, and he needs you to spread the word about his cruise line and get people to show up, because no one's shown up yet. And you have to hand out flyers.
And it's the same cruise ship that we had the other year.
Oh yeah.
But he's bought it.
He's bought it now, and it's going on a cruise.
Oh my lord! No, don't say that.
There's no cutscene with it going or anything. It's just thank you for.
And that guy will come along. You know, the guy who has his younger sister, and he'll go, "Don't worry, I'm really working hard on being an adventurer.
That's
I've
what's
almost completed the
yeah." This is a black and white. You might laugh, chat, or roll your eyes. This is a black and white moment, and know it.
Yeah.
People are rolling their eyes not because they disagree with you, but because they don't want what you're talking about.
Well, sorry. It's what we're getting. Okay, so that's Moonfire Faire. Not much to say. We don't know what else.
Nomura.
We'll review it next week.
We will. So there you go, Moonfire Faire. We have some updates and fixes to talk about. So the Nintendo Switch version released not quite without a hitch. There was a very strange bug that occurred at launch where we were transported back to the PS3 era. People were already, because so the Nintendo Switch version had very long loading times when being rezzed or teleporting, whatever required your character to like be repositioned into the world. So people were already like talking about like, okay, we need to like, we'll make party finders that exclude Switch players. We'll kick Switch players. We'll ask if they play on Switch and kick them. Like it's already starting immediately, being like, we're not going to wait 5 minutes for a Switch player to load in. The issue was fixed, but I'll read the announcement that occurred immediately the moment they were made aware of it. Nintendo Switch 2 prolonged transition screens.
Made aware of it the day that it released, seemingly, because this is August 4th.
Yeah, of course. We have confirmed that in the Nintendo Switch 2 version, the loading time may take longer than usual when the screen fades to black in instance duties. Our investigation has confirmed that when a player enters an instance duty while surrounded by many characters, loading data will take longer than usual, which lasts until the player leaves the instance. The delay is especially noticeable in the following situations: when the screen fades to black during a battle phase transition, or when teleporting to a different map in an instance duty. When the screen fades to black upon reviving after being KO'd in an instance duty, and when the screen fades to black upon using a return or a shortcut in an instance duty. We have
fairness on that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't necessarily, if you are in a like mid fight and it takes you like minutes to be rezzed, like, you know, you can't like prog with someone doing that. That's insane.
No, that's true. Yeah,
I kind of get it, but
the way it was ridiculous too. I saw videos, it was like 25 seconds if you're being rezzed.
It was very long.
Yeah,
that's far too long.
Even like it almost felt like it was longer than the PS3. So there was definitely something wrong there.
Yeah, something had to be going really, really badly with your system, or you have to. I don't even think a hard drive would load 14.
No. So we have identified certain cases in which the data reloading and cache clearing processes required for safe rendering are taking an extended amount of time. As such, these processes have been optimized to ensure faster data loading even under similar conditions, and the updated version is currently in testing. We're working to release an update as soon as possible to address this and several other issues. We apologize for the inconvenience and appreciate your understanding in the meantime. And then they updated this on August 7th. The issue was addressed by optimizing the processing to improve data loading speed by the maintenance of August 7th. We'll get to that in a bit, but that's part of a bigger update. So yeah, that was interesting. I think what happened, we discussed this a little bit before air, but if you all remember, all platforms for 14, which at the time was PC and PS4 and 5, got a loading update. Was it Endwalker? Or was it before that even? It might have been Stormblood when they implemented the big load change.
What's the big difference between Endwalker and Stormblood?
Sorry, did I say Stormblood? Shadowbringers is what I meant, sorry. Shadowbringers. It was with a PS5 release, I think. I think it was during that time. So we all got like super fast load times. Like if you remember back, it might have been, it's so long ago now that you might not even remember that loading times used to be significantly higher than they are now. And they just managed to do something that made it go faster on PC and PS5. And I'm assuming they just did in a apply that to the Switch version or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this was just the old load system that they added to the Switch 2 version.
Possibly, yeah.
Possibly that, or it was genuinely just they fucked up something. I mean, this is a whole new system that they've never developed
now,
for. It has
and it looks like it runs really well.
So, if I remember right, I think it was 3 years ago that they did this, because for the PS5, they got their load time thing first. And I think for a little while people weren't sure if it was going to come to other platforms.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
And but I think like a year-ish later or something like that, they added the update to other platforms, or I guess mostly PC, because it doesn't matter for PS4. You can't increase the load times, or you can't shorten it because it's SATA 3 for the interface no matter what.
Yeah.
But yeah, now the if you had the right equipment, which is an M2 NVMe SSD, that's how you would get the faster load times after that update.
Yeah,
which I think it was 3 years ago.
Yes. Okay. So we'll get back to the Switch 2 version again when we get to the August 7th update. August 5th. Final Fantasy XIV has been updated. The hotfixes indicated were addressed on each duty world with no maintenance interruptions. This is one of those magic ones. The fixes were completed on all worlds, and the fix was: in the Occult Crescent, North Horn critical encounter, a beast unleashed. The indicators and the actual execution of the 2 knockback attacks during the spine-breaking stampede boss action would not function correctly.
Has anyone experienced this? Because I don't think I did, so I can't speak to exactly how this was broken.
I don't know, no.
Not to my memory.
I dared know.
Which one is that?
That's the Proto-Carbuncle.
Oh. No, I have not noticed that. But it's fixed now, so you don't have to worry about it anymore.
This is the one where it knocks you to one of the 2 sides, and then you get pushed back from one of the sides.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then you have to try and avoid the topazes.
Yeah, I get. Yeah.
I've never seen it act wrong.
Chat is saying that it did the attack before the directions were shown.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay. Well, that's a pretty big
No, I never saw that
issue. Okay. Well, they managed to fix that without maintenance, so that's cool. And then on October, on August 7th, Final Fantasy XIV has been updated. This directly then addresses the Nintendo Switch 2 version, optimized processing to speed up data loading to reduce the time of screen transitions within duties. Nintendo 2 Switch version only. So that brought the Switch 2 back to being on par with the loading times of like the PS5 and the PC version. So that's good. There's one more thing we need to talk about at the Switch version before we talk, because the rest of the hotfixes are unrelated to the Switch version. This technically, normally we don't talk about like data mining and leaks and whatever, but this is literally in the client, so we can talk about it. In the Switch 2 version, the ability to change the color of Aura horns is apparently available. Which I don't think is supposed to be there.
Yeah,
so
no, it's very strange. Has a very small palette too to pick from.
Yeah, yes, it doesn't seem to be finished. So early code has made it into the game. It is also only available through the face paint interface or whatever.
Face paint interface, I believe.
So it isn't like anchored to like, it doesn't have its own like thing. So it's a little, someone
uses the face paint colors. Okay.
Yeah, uses the face paint colors. So
Switch 2 exclusive feature, actually. He wanted like, but on Switch 2 first, you gotta.
Yeah, I mean it's not a glitch in the sense that this isn't supposed to happen, because it does actually paint the horns. That's not something. It paints the whole horn. We've talked about this possibly being a thing that's coming, because Halmarut has green horns, which was already sort of an indicator that something like this is going to happen.
So does Vashon.
Yes, right.
Yes.
Right, yeah. And what's extra funny is that because this glitch, this mistake, we're calling it that, even though it hasn't actually been addressed yet. This is very breaking news when we're covering it, which is why we're a little uncertain about what we're talking about. But it hasn't been confirmed officially yet. But Switch 2 players are able to see other Switch 2 players' colored horns when they're walking around, but PC and PlayStation players will not, because obviously they don't have that data in their client. So
also,
yeah.
It only Chad is saying it only affects the horns, not the scales on the body. That's disgusting.
Yes.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, again, this is prototype content that's just been added to the game client by a mistake.
Presumably, if you are a PC player who has, if you're one of those freaks who uses the face paint options, you Switch 2 players might see you with different colored horns without any intention to do it as well.
Oh,
I don't know.
Potentially.
Does it?
Man, you could be having fucked up colored horns. Not even
you potentially, yeah, because if it's based on the data from face paint color, then
well, I don't know if it added. See, again, this is too breaking news. I don't remember right now from the top of my head if there's like a unique option that you click to activate that glitch or whatever. But
it's they think they just pick a specific face paint.
Okay. Do we know which one it is? Was it Freckles? I think.
I don't remember. There's a video about it, so you can check it.
Next time you see an Aura who's playing on the Switch 2 client, you can ask them if the roof tiles match the linoleum.
Yes, you can. So yeah, that's very interesting. Other than that,
it shows the power of the character creator, though. We already know that it has this power. We know that the whatever engine this game runs on, whatever fork, has this sort of power. Like we know it has the power to do cake physics, etc. But it's just fun when it gets unlocked.
Yeah.
I don't know if this will become a feature. I wouldn't be surprised if it does become a feature. The palette options for horns are like 4 rather than all the colors.
I'm almost 100% sure that they were going to present this at the JP Fan Fest, and they've spoiled it. They've ruined this one, but and Ass Slider. I'm surprised that didn't show up in there, but yeah.
The Switch can't handle that.
Just for the Switch, no butt slider. Okay. Well, that's the Switch version. Other than that, I think it was a pretty good launch. It runs fine. It runs good for a handheld. It's
really
incredible.
Good, yeah.
Yes.
So
it's locked to 30 frames in handheld mode. It's technically unlimited in docked.
Yeah, technically, but not achievable in higher than.
Very unlikely.
It is, from what I've seen so far anyway. This can still be optimized, obviously. They've just launched it. But it seems to like hover around like 40 to 50 frames per second at the highest, which is fine. You know, it's impressive that it runs on that on a handheld device.
It's not unsimilar to the Steam Deck performance, in all honesty. It's on Steam, it seemed better. But yeah, Steam Deck is totally playable. And if it's playable on Switch 2, it's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to other issues that have been addressed. And this list is long. Upon completing the Allied Society quest, Hero's Day Off, a message notifying you that your reputation had advanced to Allied would not appear.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
How will I know that I've increased my reputation with all 3 of the Dawn Trail Society quest people?
Exactly. In the Occult Crescent, North Horn, the quest in the shadow of the tower would display the quest completed icon above the NPC, even if the objective had not been completed. Now that's confusing.
That was infuriating because the first time you do it, it is correct and it will have it as like not completable until you hit level 40, knowledge level 40. If you log out, or I think you have to log out, and you've left Occult Crescent, which you probably will have been kicked if you logged out there.
Yeah.
It will show as complete because technically you are higher than level 40 outside of Occult Crescent. But then when you go in, it will still say it's complete until you talk to them and they say, no, you're not ready yet. Go away.
God.
That is pretty funny, though.
Yeah. In the following duties, if a player logged out while incapacitated and then logged back in more than 10 minutes later, they could return to the duty despite having been expelled. This applied
so you could get over 72 people.
This applied to Forked Tower Blood, Forked Tower Magic Extreme, and for some reason, the Baldessian Arsenal. So
wow, how did they introduce a bug into that?
They used the same system, I guess. In the Occult Crescent, When a player had multiple damage nullifying buffs from the following phantom actions, receiving damage would not only consume the buff of the corresponding damage type, but other damage nullifying buffs as well. Oh god,
okay.
what are these spells? Shira Hadori, Image, and Occult Blink.
So you can stack
one
them
of
for
them's a
3.
ninja skill.
Yeah, I guess so.
Probably, yeah. If you can stack them for 3, so it's like 3 free damage hits. That's quite strong, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's important for Extreme Forked Tower.
Yes, I would assume so. In the Occult Crescent, Northhorn critical encounter Dark Artistry, the visual effect of the enemy action Dark Flare appeared narrower than the actual attack.
Oh.
Interesting.
Dark Artistry.
I don't remember which one that is.
Is that the Necromancer quest? Or CE?
Yeah, maybe. It sounds like it by the title, but yeah, I don't know. I don't remember the names of these, most of these.
Yeah, it is. It can drop.
Yes,
yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Necromancer.
It can drop it.
Yeah. In the Occult Crescent Northhorn critical encounter, except no imitators, no sound effect was played when the visual indicator for the boss action Spine-Breaking Stampede was displayed. Yeah, we talked about that one. No
That's
sound
the Blue
effect.
Mage
It was
one.
No, that's a different CE as well. That is the one.
It has the same attack.
The old man with the tentacly hands.
Right.
Oh,
right,
it's
of
him.
course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cosmic Man.
Yeah. In the Occult Crescent, Northhorn Fate, Eye to Eye, certain visual effects from the boss actions Cold Stare and Sinister Sight were displayed for players who were not participating in the fate.
Oh.
Well, what does that?
Does it matter?
Are you only supposed to see them if you are within the fates? What? I feel like you should be able to see them regardless.
Yeah.
It's a fate, not a CE.
Yeah.
That's true. You didn't join. Get out of here.
I guess it would be like distracting if you're like maybe it like showed when you were like super far away. If you see it from the other side of the map, I mean, why would you need to see that?
I guess so.
These are the indicators, not the actual effect, I think. Okay.
Yeah, it's just the indicators.
Yeah. Okay, in the Occult Crescent Northhorn, stepping into the circles to travel to specific locations could cause players to become stuck in the ground or mid-air and prevent movement.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
So now you have to fear that as well?
Yeah.
You might lose your character in a
You'll lose your
character. Stuck in the air forever.
You'll lose your character.
Brilliant.
You just stay there until time runs out or log out.
Yeah, what the hell?
You could probably just leave the duty.
Yeah.
Well, I can't really wait until all of time has run out.
Well, logging in and out will reposition you.
Unbelievable.
Well, this has been fixed, by the way. These are fixes.
Sort yourselves out, Square Enix.
The animations / visual effects for the following phantom actions were not displayed properly in the Occult Crescent. Occult Arrow 3, Occult Holy, Chaos Drive, Punishing Ray, Drain Touch, and Step Forth.
Okay, I don't know. Occult Arrow 3 is a blue mage skill. Occult Holy is a white mage skill.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the others.
Chaos Drive sounds like a Dragoon one, maybe?
Yeah.
No,
maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know. Visual effects were not depicted properly at certain camera angles for the following weapons when they were drawn. Phantom Spear Occultum, Phantom Cane Occultum, Phantom Index Occultum, Phantom Codex Occultum, Phantom Revolver Occultum, Phantom Degen Occultum.
Degen? Why is that named that?
Degen is a type of rapier, but I don't know where the origin of that
came from. Dijon's a type of mustard.
Yeah, it's a type of mustard.
Also a producer for music.
That's true. When Tradewinds Gaskins were equipped along with certain footgear on the following races / genders, graphics around the waist were displayed incorrectly. It applied to Midlander male, Highlander male, Ellison male, Mikote male, Aura male, Vieira male, period.
Okay.
Disgusting.
When
Female supremacy.
When Vanadillan Tights of Healing were equipped on the following races genders, the graphics of the left leg were displayed incorrectly when an idle animation entered a specific pose. For Midlander female, Highlander female, Ellison female, Vieira female.
No, at least Aura female, but it's safe, but Aura male fucked up. So that's one thing to be happy about. Unbelievable.
The key
left
leg, yeah.
Yeah, the left leg.
This game has the weirdest bugs. Left leg. Well, it will never beat The Sims.
No,
I will say. Though they have some
Their
of the
patches are
strangest.
great.
Yeah. The keybind and log filter settings saved via configuration sharing were stored under miscellaneous data instead of character configuration. Good. Touchscreen input was not recognized as player input during duties, causing players using only touchscreen controls to be treated as inactive and forcibly removed from duties after a certain period of time on the Nintendo Switch 2 version. That's funny.
I don't want to tell you how to play your game, but the idea of playing this game using touch controls only is insanity to me.
That is insane.
But what if they were former Final Fantasy 14 mobile players?
Yeah, the refugees.
They had to switch to a different system, and this is the only one that had touchscreen controls.
The 14 mobile refugees. Oh, damn.
I tap my skills.
Yeah. God.
That's okay, but would you have to tap to move as well? Like that's insane.
So the only way I can play, man.
Just
it's like playing like Metin too.
God, imagine it like if you go into touch mode and he gets that mobile joystick.
Oh no, I would prefer that though than touch to move, like tap to move.
Yeah.
That old school RuneScape.
Okay. Duty recorder replay data. Sorry, hold on. In the Gold Saucer Gate, Air Force One, shots fired via touchscreen controls were launched towards the previous reticle position rather than the location touch. What the?
That's hilarious. And it's fixed, so we can't get any funny videos of people just screaming at their switches as they shoot in the wrong direction.
Yeah. And the duty recorder replay data.
Oh no! Duty recorder content.
This is devastating, guys. Duty recorder replay data did not play back correctly when a chapter was selected while the replay was paused on the Nintendo Switch version. I know. It has been fixed. It has been fixed, though. It has been fixed.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Can't wait to review my gameplay, sleeping in, lying in bed, thinking about how I fucked up the raid last night.
Yeah. Last like 2 patches, like the very old raid as well.
No, you can't see. Oh yeah, that's true. I thought you were saying from 2 patches ago in terms of time, because they don't save that.
No, they don't. That's true. That's true. God. Okay. Well, that is it for the updates and fixes. I don't think. Yeah, we're just gonna go into MogMail now. We'll. Oh God, the time. Yeah, we can do a couple maybe of MogMail. Send us MogMail at speakersfv.com/MogMail. Thank you to everyone who's sent in. We do have quite a lot now, but please do send in more. But just know that it'll might take some time.
More evergreen ones
before we get to read yours next. So, all right, let's jump into MogMail and see what we've got. This is from Trinity Rain from Halicarnassus. Hello, speakers. I'll be sending a few questions, one MogMail at a time, to help with the content drought. Oh, no one likes a short speakers episode. Well, thank you. Regarding the Scions and maybe a time skip. With the trust/duty support, I can't understand why the developers won't just let us go to a new place or shard with a new cast of characters. Don't get me wrong with the teaser trailer, I'm excited for Heavensward Part 2 with our Ellison brothers, but a story where we're all taken into a place out of our control and the Scions cannot follow would be nice. Maybe there is a time skip during this hypothetical expansion after all. They have hinted more than once at the twins having a growth spurt. What better way to do it during a time skip? They've already set up this lore in Shadowbringers, but time can flow differently between shards. I feel like this bit of lore isn't being used to its full potential. It could really shake up the formula and breathe life back into the story, while also moving certain storylines forward. And I understand the joke, the calamity has always been 5 years ago, and I understand this would mess up some dialogue, but they have changed other NPC dialogue to fit a slightly changing world before. I don't understand why they couldn't do it for all the Realm Reborn zones. Thanks for your time, Trin. Thank you. Yeah, that's this topic comes up regularly in this community, and they are afraid of having time pass like properly in our world.
As our time goes on more, though, it does get more ridiculous by the day.
Mm-hmm.
Because
yes,
with the very little that we can piece together for how long it's been since like A Realm Reborn, it's been like a year, maybe. So you might be able to say it's still really wild. It's really wild to say all that happened in a year or less or whatever. At a certain point, you got to do something.
Yeah, I mean, chat is already added. I think a lot of it is also like the fear of making too big of a change to established characters, because people are attached to them and they go crazy if you make a change.
People love a time skip, though. It's like a classic anime trope, you know, where you get the
but I don't think they always love a time skip.
100 Years
I
War.
think there are a lot of for every time skip that's well received, there's maybe like one that's like people hated.
Yeah.
Well, just don't do it bad then. Do it good.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't like the idea of using the shard thing though, because that feels like it could have loads of problems. Like, what Alphinaud and Alizé go away one day and then they come back what feels like to their parents the next day, and they're like 7 years older, just so they can have a time skip, but no one else does, or things like that. That feels awkward.
It does feel awkward, but I think that is probably the most convenient way for them to do it, in the sense that they don't have to update all previous Eorzean zones to account for all of the like children that should have aged in
very
long they want time ahead. It's
probably
easier
is the
to
best
do
way
it
of
by
doing it.
character.
You also have to remember skipping the world forward in time, dialogue for all NPCs that mention anything regarding time since the calamity, since certain events, it all has to be updated. So like it's a lot of work to do like a world
it all
time
should
skip.
be updated.
I mean, they had opportunity in Dawntrail with the time bubble thing in Alexandria when that spawned in. They could have very easily thrown a Scion or two in there. Who knows? Mix them up.
They had the chance to do it in Shadowbringers, and they didn't do it significantly long enough. It was only 5 years to a year, depending on the character.
Yeah,
Shadowbringers it could have worked out, but I actually like the Solution 9 as a good one, because it was such an unprecedented thing that all of the characters, like Alphinaud and we're using them as an example, their parents would be like, well, we've heard about that because it's just happened.
Yeah.
So we know that they will be growing up, and that's fine. Like it, and then they can have a nice reunion scene as well, whatever. Like, I feel like that was the perfect time to type characters.
Yeah.
And now that we've lost it, you know.
Do it again. There'll be another time bubble. And just say, we'll do it right this time, guys. They should do what I want. I should throw one twin in there, though. Just one.
That's awful.
They won't do
Could you
that.
imagine, though, if Alphinaud got time skipped? Alizé would be so fucking pissed off. It'd be so good. It'd be so good.
That's so wise.
Well, we don't. I mean, I think the MogMailer is correct in that there is timey-wimey stuff going on between like when you're shard hopping. So this is another.
It's just less fun.
What if the while they're traveling, the twins jump in first, and there's like a synchronization error or something that happens? You know, something goes wrong when we establish a link or whatever. Time skips forward for them. They get stuck for a bit, and then we reconnect. Now they've aged. That's how easy it can be.
I think that happened in Shadowbringers, because the people who went in first were there for like years before the last people jumped in. But it didn't matter because their bodies.
Because they're already.
That was only their souls.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Their souls that aged, not their bodies.
That's true.
Because their bodies were still just sleeping.
They're
rotting away in the rising stones.
That was my explanation. They're already old. You don't see it anymore. Yeah, that's true.
That's a good question. Well, actually, it's completely unrelated to Never.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, I was just thinking about the fact that we'll be using the bridge, won't we, to go there? So we'll go there with our bodies rather than
us. Well, that's what
presumably, which is interesting and new.
Ooh, okay. I know a way that would piss off everybody, though, right?
Wow.
Everyone will be upset. Yeah,
sounds like a great idea.
As a hypothetical, I want people to imagine the worst scenario, right?
Okay.
You get a time skip character, right? Or the entire Scions are time skipped, but it is their sharded selves that you are spending more time with, who are just slightly older now. It's still sort of them, and for some reason, these shards are very similar to the source versions, but they are the shards are the ones that get aged up.
Sorry, so they come back, so they'll be like older Alizé and young Alizé on the source, but it'll be the shard version from the 4th.
You will still have normal source versions.
That's very possible because like if the shards are asynchronous in time until they're connected to each other, they could already just be older when we arrive there if they were to use shards.
Yeah, that's true.
People would hate that, but
yeah,
it feels like something they would do. I'm kind of glad they've jumped away from the shards thing a little bit.
So they always tease it though, or not tease it, but like it would be like little crumbs.
It would be rough if they went and they had a scene where it was like, Y'shtola meets old Y'shtola and Alizé meets old Alizé.
They generally don't do it with main characters for the most part.
No.
They do it as just an Easter egg, like if you recognize that this is that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it is an opportunity to do it. Are they going to do it?
They failed 2 opportunities.
They haven't done it by now. I find it so hard to believe that they're gonna do it.
They're too big a coward to do it, really.
Can Infinite Money save this? Who knows?
I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. They might just get like another outfit update, and that'll be
yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe we're entering uncharted territory with 8.0. Unlimited money, breaking their own established rules. Yeah, maybe they'll do it.
If Alphino and Alizé were to get an aged up model, I think they would make them customized because I think there's a certain giraffeness to the default Elizin model that I think might break people's perceptions of their connection of what the characters Alphino and Alizé are supposed to look like.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's true. Yeah.
And how big a jump do people want as well?
Because that's the question, isn't it? Yeah.
Because all this has happened within the span of a year. If you time skip 5 years, think of what's going to have happened.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably like a whole new Neo Guardian Empire or something, and so much could have happened in 5 years if all this could happen in one.
That's why the time skip has to happen on the other shard.
It's just the characters aged up.
Jump in early.
Yes.
Something happens. They get stuck there for us. It's just a second because we just reestablish the link, and then we're like, "Where are they?" And then turns out it's been 5 years or whatever.
We can't cause any time skip in relation to us and the source. That's too much that they would need to change or update.
Yeah,
like a Cataclysm expansion though. Then we'd always go to old Eorzea and new Eorzea.
And Cataclysm.
That was like the 3rd expansion, not the 6th.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I think we've already had our Cataclysm with the Realm Reborn. I don't think we want to have the same effect again. Okay, well, thank you, Trinity Ryan.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting topic. I think we're going to have to jump to the main story because it is quite a beefy Q&A. Okay. So we're going to do that. Yoshi-P, after thank you everybody for sending in MogMail. Please send us more. SpeakersofTV.com/MogMail. Yoshi-P, after the Berlin Fan Fest in 2026,
directly after the
Keynote?
What's it called? The Keynote, I believe.
Oh no, it says here after the first day, so it's after everything. So the day is over, and he goes, okay. God, what a rough day for him.
After the first day?
Yeah. That is...
God, that's late.
That is late. You can tell by the picture, actually, that he is... This is an old man that is actually done for the day, but now he has to sit here and answer questions.
No. I have no sympathy for this man because after this happened, he forced Foxconn to go out and get a burger with him.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but to recuperate
he had to get some energy
cells
back. Yeah, he had to. Yeah, oof. This was probably not great for him. After the first day of the Final Fantasy XIV Fan Fest in Berlin, members of the media gathered as producer and director. This is from Gamer Escape, by the way. Shout out to them. Gamerescape.com. After the first day of the Final Fantasy XIV 2026 Fan Fest in Berlin, members of the media gathered as producer and director Naoki Yoshida answered questions through an interpreter. Oh yes, shit. I need to have this like this so I can see your thing. Hold on. Some technical stuff that I have to do.
I already updated the page. You just need to refresh the portal.
Oh, you put it in the notes? Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Thank you. Hold on.
Because I realized what needed to happen as well.
I forgot. I forgot.
2 windows.
Load notes. All right, we're getting there. Hold on. Think about Yoshi-P being tired and sweaty at the end of a very long fan fest.
He was definitely sweaty.
Yeah. Okay.
No, that Bastion armor was made out of a super lightweight material.
I'll just read the top bit here. He answered questions through an interpreter about the game and upcoming expansion, Evercold. Okay. We begin. We have finished our... This is Yoshida saying this. We have finished our first day of FanFest, and I'm sure you all must be really exhausted. But I do hope that you'll enjoy today's media's interview session as well. I myself was up early this morning. Just emphasize, I'm very tired. I got into that very heavy gear that you could see. I was in full armor, and I did the keynote. I was about 2.5 hours, I think. But compared to a couple of days ago when I did the rehearsal, I was actually in that gear for a full 5 hours. So it was a little bit easier for me today. But yes, I do want to enjoy today's session as well. So I hope you will too. Oh. So they ask. This is a Q&A, so there's just going to be questions and answers. Questions from
It's a press conference.
Yeah. So
it's not just from Gamer Escape. They just transcribed it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so first question. What was the biggest challenge in establishing the visual identity of Evercold so that it immediately felt distinct from Ishgard or Garlemald, despite also being a frozen setting? Yoshida says, in Evercold, due to the theme that we have, you may be thinking of ice and snow, but actually for Evercold, we're not really developing any kind of snowy or icy areas. This is something that applies not only to Evercold, but whenever we approach developing a new expansion. And when we're thinking about developing new areas, we want to create something that all our players have never seen before. Something that they wouldn't even imagine. Yuri?
Do you think that that's true? That there really isn't any cold zone, or he's just lying? Because I feel as if the final zone, the one that they have not teased at all, will probably be on the surface, surely.
I'm going to be so pissed if we don't get a snowy zone.
Well,
they're my favorite zone.
We are getting snowy weather. We've seen the frost weather happening, but yeah, didn't we see them in a custom area, in a new area that had snow when they showed off the shield, the bastion? Maybe it wasn't snowy.
That's not the snowy area. That was from Horny.
Oh yeah, that's right. So there's no. You know what? We might not see snow because what if the last part of the MSQ is somehow fixing a part of the world, and so
oh my God,
the one on the surface does not have snow. It is possible. I mean, as a certified hater of snow maps, that does not bother me. I find snowy maps in MMO specifically to be mostly miss, because it's mostly just flat white nothingness, like an excuse for the devs to not put any details in other than some mountains and some shit covered in snow. It's I don't know.
The Central Highlands are far from flat, I'll tell you that much.
That's true. That is true, but then you have Western Highlands, which came after, by the way, in this. I don't know. There's you know what? Kurth's Central Highlands, I don't hate it. But I think
I hate it more.
Really?
I think it's uglier.
It's complicated, isn't it? But I don't like snow zones to begin with. But when you have a snowy zone, if you look at Kurth's, the color palette is white and gray. That's the palette. And then you have maybe the green from the trees, but it's usually covered in snow anyway, so you don't really see it. That's the color palette. It's very boring.
As someone that experienced 1.0 Kurth's, which one do you visually prefer?
Oh, that's well. 1.0 sort of struggled with the fact that everything was the same color palette. Like it was green, the same green everywhere. I don't know. I mean, 1.0 Kurthus in A Realm Reborn's engine would probably be really nice looking, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe free Kurthus from the snow. That would be interesting.
I feel like they covered Kurthus in snow in A Realm Reborn to make it a little bit more visually distinct from Lenosha.
Yeah. I mean, just thinking about 1.0 now. Thinking about 1.0, having 1.0
Making you
thoughts.
feel bad.
Yeah. Anyway, so where are we? Kurthus. Mela, you had a reaction to not having snow maps. You like snow maps.
I'm fuming at what you're saying.
I like snow maps too.
I love snow maps.
Yeah.
They're probably the coziest, nicest zones in MMOs.
They can be.
They can be.
I love snow. And to the fact that we've just been through a desert and purple land and a tropical jungle. Maybe we deserve a snowy map. You can make snow maps so beautiful. They don't have to just be a flat white texture. They can have like blue ice and these little hamlets with, like a fire roaring. And love snow.
Because actually less and less snow up here now, but like it's just so nature is prettier when it's alive than when it's dead in snow.
The problem is all three snow zones we have are like under attack from the snow.
Yeah.
And like not like built for it.
Right.
Like Garlemald, if we visited Garlemald at the height of its like success, maybe it wouldn't feel so like unforgiving.
Yeah. And remember, this is another world where snow is the threat. It's bad actually. So it's gonna be the same thing again. It's just gonna be oppressive snow. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe he might be hiding it. Of course, there might be a snow map.
Why mention it so confidently then?
But especially since even in the trailer you see like all the snow stuff. It would kind of be insane if there was no snow in Evercold. It's called Evercold.
A desert map. That's what. It's gonna be a nice flat desert. You're gonna love it, Lucio. It's gonna be the same thing.
I mean,
this would be like in Shadowbringers if he went, and just so you know, there's not going to be any big underwater zones.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
I think.
Well, the irony of the big underwater zone is there's no.
That's true, actually. Yeah, there's no water. Really.
Well, yeah, you said desert. Desert is like the opposite of the snow map to me. That's the hot version of snow map is desert map because that's the same thing. There's just put a lot of sand in here.
Did the Sigori Desert not make you go like, oh, this is kind of cool though when you got there?
It was kind of cool.
I think it was cool, but then I was like, traveling and it's not cool.
Yeah. I felt the same way going into Western Highlands, like, oh, this is cool. And then I go through there for the 5th time and I'm like, oh, this is all
I want
it
to
is.
see what they can do. Urkapatcha had like some like hints, because obviously the mountain was snow-capped. There was some hints of like an alpine look. I want to see what they can do in the modern engine with the snow zone. They've not done it.
I do agree with that. I mean, they can.
Garlemald was an attempt, and that had some cool things like the Cerulean fields and stuff. But it was too bleak and too oppressive.
Yeah,
it wasn't a snow zone. It was a Guardian.
It suffers from flatness.
Yeah,
in the same
very
way
flat.
As the Western Highlands.
Yes. Okay, so anyways, something they wouldn't even imagine. We want to think up areas that we ourselves haven't really experienced or seen before either. So when we go through that process, we really want to have a good think about what kind of scenery there is, what kind of culture there is, and what kind of daily lives we can experience that are really refreshing and something completely new. And then after we've defined that direction, we go about creating the artwork. So we did the same thing this time as well. During our attempt to create this world of the 4th, this is just something not only for areas, but a challenge that we take on generally whenever we approach a new expansion.
Culture. Now,
yes.
Dawn Trail approached culture in an interesting way, I think you can say, where it was well built, but it was kind of weirdly approached because of Wuklemat being like, let's look at this culture. Oh, aren't they funny? They do this.
think she ever said they were funny.
No.
I'm very intrigued as to how they will handle, because I mean, in Tuliala or in what's the south? What's it called again? The south half of the island, not the New World.
Of
What's the New World? Yeah,
Yogg-Toroil.
Yeah, Yogg-Toroil. They're all in the same area. They all interact, but this is like these sky ships where they're clearly defined themes.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I hope
actually.
it's like emergently told, though, in a way that feels like they've existed for a long time, rather than being like, "Hi, we're the Fire Dwarves. We believe in Surta, and we believe that fire is the prime element, and this is some of our rituals that we do." Like, make it a bit more like we get engaged in it and learn about it, rather than it just being told.
Well, I also don't want it to just be Norse mythology. You know what I mean?
Oh my god!
Please just
I can't handle
make it
expansion.
Make it its own thing, because I'm tired.
Hey, Viking lives matter.
I agree. But to be fair, remember that South Dawn Trail was a mixture of South American, but also like Southeast Asian.
Yeah.
So they can fuse
he's gonna
Norse culture with something fantastic.
He's going to talk about it here.
Polish.
Also North American too.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, they are definitely already using Norse mythology as like a... The ships are named after the ships of the gods, and there's a lot of or important ships in Norse mythology. So obviously they're... Yeah. But we also seen, wasn't the name of the cat race based on like Old Norwegian, which is interesting. That's not Norse. That's like just Nordic, which we'll get to. This time around, we've been looking at Norse mythology and Nordic culture as a source of inspiration, and really looking around and seeing what sort of old mythology there is that we can draw from. And then we melded that with a fantasy aesthetic. So I hope you can look forward to it. So that's good, because that doesn't lock it to just being Norse, because Nordic culture is obviously also very
Finnish culture is very different from Nordic as
also,
well.
I think people forget that there was like sort of a Nordic culture before the Viking age and after. So there's a lot to take from there that you can meld in as well. Make it a little more interesting than just Odin and Thor and Loki and just fucking Midgardsormr all over again. Just do it. Just... What do they call and Ratatoskr? We're going to see him as well.
Ratatoskr. It's funny that he said meld it with a fantasy aesthetic when Norse mythology is
That's
the most fantasy thing that you can ever think of.
That's true.
I wonder if they regret using all those Norse names for the first brood.
That's true.
But what if that comes up?
Yeah.
What if that like comes up in the plot?
Uh-huh.
That could be fascinating.
I'll also say, I see in chat, I think they're going to be wise and not touch Sami in this.
Yes, I agree.
They've already been messing with that before, and I don't think they're doing that.
Or you know what?
Shami.
Maybe they've actually worked with them this time, because they did for Dawn Trail. Well, I mean,
that's true.
Them, but they had a culture experts.
That's true. That's true.
So and I think that was what the letter said that the Sami Council wrote. They were like, we would appreciate a collaboration.
Yeah, they would. Yeah.
So that
maybe
it might be on the table if they really want to do that.
Maybe. Oh, yeah, because we did see.
That's
possible.
Cool.
Yeah, that's possible. That would be cool. On a final point regarding having some sense of distinction from Garlemald itself, I think.
What?
Because they asked. How do you make snow zones distinct from Garlemald?
Oh, sorry, right.
I think Garlemald you would kind of associate with icy, black, dark scenery. Whenever we create new areas, sometimes we do end up with a similar aesthetic. So there are some times when we create those new areas and we think, yeah, it does look a bit like Garlemald. Maybe we need to look to a slightly different direction. So this is Yoshi-P double speak then. So he said there is no snow map, but they also were maybe in a situation where they thought this looks like... Maybe there is a snow map somewhere. Who knows? Who knows? There might be. Do you have any plans to modernize the... it could be a dungeon. That's a good point, chat. Chat's pointing on that. Could be... all the snow are in the dungeons when we travel to the surface of the planet. That's definitely going to happen. Do you have any plans to modernize the housing system in 14 going forward? And I'm just going to tell you right now, sit back. There's a long fucking response, okay? So, housing girlies, it's time to eat. Or not, because it's Yoshi-P, so it might just be a whole lot of nothing. Yoshida says, oh yes. I think this question... I think...
I knew I'd get you. I knew I'd get you.
You hit me in waves. We're 2 waves. Oh yes. I think this question has maybe been refined. It's a little bit vague. A little bit more ambiguous. I get the feeling that you really want to ask, what you really want to ask is, well, World of Warcraft has come with this amazing housing system. How about 14? Who gave this question? I think that must have been what you really wanted to ask.
Who
are you? Okay. So, aware. Yoshi-P, aware. I'm sure for all of those journalists and creators out there who have been with us on this journey for a long time, back from the time of A Realm Reborn, I think you would know that we have an immense respect for the World of Warcraft team. So when we saw that the World of Warcraft team announced the expansion and this new housing system, and they said specifically that they looked to 14 and incorporated things which they wanted to surpass us on, I think that in itself is very much a sense of great honor for us to hear. And of course, I had some hands-on with the World of Warcraft housing system myself, and I really do appreciate it. It's amazing. We always like taking on new challenges. So this time around, when I tried WoW's housing, I thought it really is amazing. And it's been a good source of research. So I can't say exactly when it will happen, but what I can say is that for the patch 8.x series, we are planning 2 very big overhauls for housing. Big. 2 very big overhauls for housing. The first one of those updates, yeah, right, he doesn't stop there. He's going to tell us what it is. The first one of those updates involves the UI. I do appreciate that right now, the UI in 14 is quite technical, and it's not very accessible. So what we want to do is to have a major overhaul of that UI so that it's more accessible for the casual players, so that they can easily create elaborate housing layouts. Big UI update coming. Okay. Now I'm the second one's coming up, guys. Hope you're ready. As for the second major update that we have planned, unfortunately, I'm not able to provide any details right now, but I think you'll probably be much happier to hear about what it is compared to the UI update.
Okay.
Thanks, Yoshi-P. It's currently in the planning process right now on our end. There is a higher chance that it will get released earlier than the UI update. Interesting. Once we have a better idea of when we can provide this update, we will announce further details. So once again, I can't actually say any specific details right now, but I think once we are able to share those details, it's probably the number one thing on the list that a lot of people are requesting.
So when you chose to stop at 2 major updates, I was like, well, go on. Why'd you stop there? Because we'll probably get more details. We didn't get more details.
No, we
probably
did not.
Just stop there.
No, yeah, we could have. So yeah, that's that. Well, but that, I mean, B2. I mean, he's looking at the World of Warcraft housing system and is taking notes, and updates are coming. So
pretty major thing that just happened in an interview. You'd think this would be like. This would have been one of the announcements or something at the FFXIV Fan Fest, right?
Well, considering how little depth there is to this answer, I can understand why it wasn't turned into a major keynote point, because it would have been frustrating on a larger stage, in my opinion.
I think they've announced less on a stage for like new features before. So
I mean,
I think if this would have this is more than enough. I think.
The second part of his update's probably not promising. Like, it's not, that one could slip.
It's also, normally they don't announce something for a keynote until they have a visual.
Yeah.
They might not even have a visual for this at this point.
Was Bastion inspired? Anyway, moving on from housing. More is coming. I mean, I'm also, there probably wasn't anything to show. This sounds like it's mostly like on paper, the housing update. Maybe it's weird to go on stage and announce something that is just not. They have nothing. Like not even they can't
concepts of a plan.
Yeah, they have concepts of a plan.
I mean, I don't know. They've gone on stage with concept art before for like a single.
Yeah, but they
don't have anything.
They might not even have that.
They'll show a house, I guess. Just an existing house.
Just a real house.
They could just literally have a slide that says housing updates, and then.
But you know that what would happen, Rollo. People be like in the subreddit, "Oh, Yoshi-P again."
You can't just say housing updates because people are going to assume there's always going to be housing updates.
Yeah.
It needs more than that, I think.
That's why you talk too, as well.
Well, he did.
I mean, it basically got announced anyway.
And it wasn't satisfying.
We're already complaining about what you said. All right. Anyway, was Bastion inspired by any jobs from older Final Fantasy games? Also, before we move on from there. There is also Fan Fest Japan, so there might be something. Who knows? For real this time. Was Bastion inspired by any jobs from older Final Fantasy games? Yoshida says, this is not just limited to Bastion, but whenever we want to implement a new job in Final Fantasy XIV, of course, there are cases where there are things like the Red Mage and Pictomancer, which have a connection to previous Final Fantasy titles. But the most important thing for us is that we are consciously paying attention to make sure that the job is engaging and fun to play in Final Fantasy XIV. So when we thought about which next new job to put in Final Fantasy XIV this time, we thought, okay, we need to put in a new tank job, and we decided on Bastion. But it was not related to the previous Final Fantasy titles, because more than anything, we wanted to ensure that whatever direction we did go in would be engaging and fun for the players.
So, no. Is the answer to the question.
Yes, that is. TLDR, no.
We try and gain some experience from previous games where we can, but in this case, it was an original design.
He is very media trained. You shouldn't just say no.
Yeah,
you know, like you have to give an answer.
I agree.
Yeah, it's very.
No, I also. Well, I agree with that, and that ultimately he is just giving us a paragraph that means no. I wish he said why they.
Exactly.
That's true.
What were the inspirations?
Yeah.
Yes. Just not previous Final Fantasy games. That's all you need to know.
That's I understand more detailed information about the new job Bastion will be revealed in the future, but could you explain its overall concept and how it differs from the other tank jobs? In particular, I'm intrigued by the inclusion of ranged attacks as part of its combat kit. Yoshida says, so I can see, it says here that it has inclusion. Does he just have like he's reading from a note at this point. So I can see it says here that it has inclusion of ranged attacks as part of its combat kit. Well, in that regard, I think you could also look to Paladin, which also has ranged attacks. So you're talking about the similarities. They were talking about how it stands out. But I think maybe one of the benefits of Bastion is that it can shoot. So it does have a good... I love my canon here is that Yoshi-P went to this press conference with no knowledge about Bastion, and he's panicking right now, and he's just like inventing things, and it's like, okay, this is probably what it means.
Is he honestly going to try and go in here and say that because it shoots instead of cast spells, it's fundamentally different, even though it's the same thing?
A gun is not the same as throwing a shield mailer. It's fundamentally different.
It's throwing a shield or using a ranged gauntlet. It's unbelievable.
Not very in-depth or insightful answer, I'd say.
No.
Might go into it, though.
Let's see what he says. The benefit of Bastion is that it can shoot. So it does have a good combination of close-range attacks and then attacks which can be done from afar. So with those shooting abilities, it can be useful in certain encounters. Now, to be fair, we don't know what there might be more to the shooting mechanic than...
I mean...
It's not Air Force One.
I hope there's more to it, because he essentially described the two types of attacks, close up and ranged.
And said that it plays the same as Paladin.
Yeah, I think even trying...
What the question was.
He's tired.
Even deciphering his answer, it's just saying there will be range combos and melee combos.
Yeah. I did mention this in the keynote presentation as well, but one of the key appeal points of Bastion is that in its toolkit, it does have a good recovery and guard ability as well. So as a main tank, you can instantly apply those effects to a party member, But the key thing about Bastion is that you can also do it at a timing of your liking.
It's Paladin, but whatever you want it to be.
So is he making the argument that you don't choose when you get to do these things as Paladin?
No.
These things just happen naturally as part of
divine intervention,
natural rotation of combat.
Yeah. Yoshi-P was very tired, guys.
What's he saying?
I can read.
So
why doesn't he talk about the evolved system and how you can pick and choose when you're using the abilities now?
I think I know what's happening.
Why can't he choose why they went with dual shields?
He probably... he doesn't want to over-explain the job yet, because it's probably still baking. They're probably still doing like all this. There's still something going on. They're gonna show it during the media tour or whatever. That's probably what's happening. He's being vague on purpose, maybe.
But that's how it differs. They're very specific.
Yeah, so far I've yet to see what the fundamental difference is. So here we go. So to elaborate, the key thing about Bastion is you can also do it at a timing of your liking. So you can look to what the boss is going to do, and based on the boss's timeline, decide when would be the most optimal time to apply that recovery or guarding ability for your party members. So I think that's a key point. Of course, there is...
No, that's a key point.
Of course. There is a good range of attacking skills as well in the toolkit. But this is, this is another aspect of the job that you can take into account.
He hasn't said anything. He's not answered the question.
Oh, wow. What really wasn't...
Saying good, man. Saying.
I mean,
you can look at the boss's timeline and then decide when to use your healing ability.
I mean, that was a very Yoshi-P answer. Just nothing really out of that one.
Lord.
But
thank you,
Yoshi-P, for that. I think he was tired. Okay, he was tired. But I'm sure you can find something in there that answers the question. Sure. You're splitting... Anyway, we're moving on. You're splitting the tank role into defined main tank and off-tank roles in Evercold. How rigid will that definition be? Will tanks be able to easily switch between the two, perhaps with slightly adapted playstyles? Switch between the two, perhaps with slightly adapted playstyles, or is it time for warriors across Eorzea to learn how to play off-tank? That's interesting. Yoshida says, I think maybe there is some misunderstanding. So just to clarify, in Reborn mode, there is no clear distinction between main tank and off-tank. That clear difference is only applied in Evolved mode. So we know that. They've made that clear already, that Evolved mode is when the job distinction or the role distinctions happen, main tank, off tank. I think there's a bit of sarcasm mixed in there, but to hear this question about whether it's time for warriors across the Eorzea to play off tank, that does bring a little bit of pain to my heart. We do get similar feedback from Dark Knights as well, and when we do get that feedback, it sits similarly. It hurts me to hear that. Of course, in those cases, you have to decide between yourselves who's going to be the main tank and off tank. And we are designing it so that it is fun to play as an off tank. So I do hope that people will look forward to it. It is interesting, especially if you play Warrior, because back in my day, Warrior was the off tank and Paladin was the main tank. This is how the game was originally. So that hasn't really changed. It changed because now everyone's just main tank and whoever, but main tank and off tank really is only matters now in when you're savage rating anyway now, and ultimates. So that's not weird. I think maybe Dark Knights, because Dark Knight came out when, after the meta sort of changed, so it's different now, but it's not that big of a change. obviously they're not going to make it, because back in A Realm Reborn, when that was the setup, being an off tank essentially meant you were AFK. Like, you were basically not doing anything back in the day. You were just standing there swinging your axe, and that was it. It wasn't much gameplay involved. And that's why a lot of people, me included, would even as I played as a paladin, I'd be like, warriors like to main tank, right? I'd just immediately go OT, just because I didn't want to do anything in the duty. OT. It was like a race. So anyway,
or a peak tower controller in Labyrinth of the Ancients.
Oh yes. We do get yes. Having said that, I don't think that there's any kind of preparation you need to do in advance. The reason being is that this new system that we're introducing is going to start in 8.0, and the only kind of real situations where you need to main tank and off tank is really in higher end content. So starting from Savage or higher difficulty content. So in those kinds of raids...
like I said.
So in those kinds of raids, it would be great if you could experience those new battles. By going through those new battles as well, we learn to make mechanics for the content. So I do hope that first you'll just play as usual, and then provide your feedback and talk amongst yourselves as well.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Just talk among yourselves.
Talk among yourself. Okay. With the content you are currently developing, where do you feel the team is being the most bold? So, of course, we have the Keynote here in Berlin, but right now we're hard at work on a lot of content, and we are really doing our best to incorporate many different revisions and many different changes. And for this question to come up to us, what is the most bold? It's quite tough to just single out one thing. It's a difficult one to answer. I think this question is more focused around content, right? Attendee says yes, or yeah. Yoshida says, so not systems, but more focused on content. Attendee clarifies. Just anything where their team are sort of stepping out of their comfort zone the most. Yoshida says, I think...
That's just rephrasing your question.
Yeah. I think in terms of content, there are the two raids that we're working on. First, there is the Evangelion crossover, Ghosts of Desire, that we're currently developing. And then we also have the next crossover, which is with the Final Fantasy VII Remake series, the Beyond the Livestream raids. For both of these raids, we've placed a lot of importance on the story, and we've really worked hard to ensure that the story will be engaging for players. But also, we've equally put a lot of attention and effort into the boss battles as well. In particular, this applies more to Evangelion, but because Evangelion is such a different world, we've really appreciated how do we fuse these two completely different worlds together and form a cohesive story with it. I think this is a very big challenge that we've been taking on. We are working very closely with Kara Inc., and it's been a lot of fun working together with them. I thought it was a list of people. But equally, I think it's also been a very big challenge, and we are really enjoying it. There's also another type of content which we announced today. In the development team, we're tentatively calling it World Raid. Listen up. But this is a new kind of content which you will be able to play on the public fields. This is also a very big challenge that we're taking on, and it just so happens that the person who is in charge of driving the development of this content is Mr. Ozma, who also worked on Beastmaster, who did the presentation today. He's also the person who created Eureka as well. Did we know that? That Mr. Ozma worked on World Raids? I don't remember.
I don't think they... No, they didn't announce it during the keynote.
That's promising then.
Good news.
Everything he touches turns to gold.
And then they threw him under the bus at the end there, saying he worked on Eureka.
Anything he touches except for his spreadsheet presentation.
And Eureka. Those two things. Yeah.
We're waiting to see how Beastmaster turns out, which I think looks good.
I would say Eureka eventually turned... I'm not going to go so far as say gold, but maybe like sterling silver.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. I liked Eureka, but yeah, the community sentiment is that it was not great, but it was mostly because of Pagos. Okay. Are there any challenges you want to take?
No, you skipped a paragraph.
Oh shit, sorry. I think he really is drawing out on his rich experience and making the most of it to develop this new content, which you will be able to enjoy on the fields. This will not be implemented in 8.0. Oh, but I don't think it would take anything longer than after that. So I hope you'll look forward to new information when we're ready to announce it.
The impression I've got is that world raids are sort of the replacement for field operations.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I guess, yeah.
But like, if you get the opportunity to do essentially field operation content in the overworld, it will make the overworld feel more alive.
Yeah.
If you can basically do all your weekly stuff there that you need to do rather than doing, expert roulette, I'll do it. It's chill. It's fun.
Yeah, I think
it won't be at launch, but neither has any field operation.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. That is exciting. I am looking forward to that. Hopefully, we learn more about it in the JP Fan Fest. All right. Are there any challenges you want to take with Evercold and the content that will be released following it? Yoshida says, well, yes. If this question is about taking on challenges, which it is, well, right from A Realm Reborn, I think both me and the development team have been constantly taking on challenges for Final Fantasy XIV, and it's just been a constant process. So if we're to think about any challenge in particular, I think it really is just creating content and doing our best efforts to increase the number of players in Final Fantasy XIV, make the number go up.
Very corporate.
Whether that would be doubling the number of players, making it 3 times as many, 5 times as many, or pulling in 10 times as many players. It is just our desire to deliver Final Fantasy XIV to as many players as possible. Of course, for example, previously in Anaheim and today in Berlin, I did talk about many different things. When I go up on stage, I may look really confident, and I'm saying, we're going to release this thing. We're going to change this thing. We're going to create this thing. I may look confident there, but whenever we're talking about challenges, it is inevitable that when taking on a challenge, there's always the possibility of failure. And at the end of the day, we are only human as well. So we could end up with certain situations where maybe there is a balancing mistake or there are system bugs. Whenever we do take on challenges, we always encounter the possibility of running into these kinds of failures or slip-ups. So yes, when we do face these risks, when it comes to the question about why are we still determined to take on those challenges, well, I think it counts both for me and also the rest of the Final Fantasy XIV team, but more than anything, what we want is just for all our players to enjoy the game more. And the only way we can do that is if we do take on these challenges so that we can provide you with more amazing experiences. So when I return back to Japan, yes, I am going to feel pressure because I do want to continue working hard to ensuring that we can reach that goal. But I think the only way that we can alleviate whatever sense of unease that we have, the only way of pushing through that is just to continue putting in hard work, putting in the effort, and then that is what drives us forward.
Well, I'm glad to hear that their work is full of challenges, because if it wasn't, I think anyone could do this.
Yes, that's true.
I'm sure he answered the question again.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Could you tell us about the reasoning and goals behind making such a significant update to the companion chocobo system at this point in time? Yoshida says, in Evercold, I have announced that it is not only for the companion chocobos, but we're looking to various systems when looking to make updates. Truth be told, we did not intend to incorporate this companion chocobo update only because we have 8.0 down the road. The order is actually reversed. So originally, we have the release of 7.0, and then it was just around the time that we finished development of 7.1, we had started working on patch 7.2. And I was looking to think about how I would incorporate the game design moving towards 8.0. I was working on that myself. When I was going through those deliberations, I was really torn. But as was mentioned just in the previous question about taking risks, I thought that more than anything, in order to ensure that we can move forward and aim higher in Final Fantasy XIV, then we would need to evolve.
Final Fantasy XIV.
Final Fantasy.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, Final Fantasy XIV. So back at that time, broadly speaking, I did 3 things. The first one was from my perspective as producer and director of Final Fantasy XIV. I looked at the game and I thought personally about what I felt we absolutely needed to change, and I listed all of those things by myself. The second thing that I did, this was not only including me, but it was me and core members of the Final Fantasy XIV team. There was assistant director Yokozawa, battle director Sato. There was also Mr. Ozma, and several others. It was really just a handful of core members on the Final Fantasy XIV team. We sat down together and we had a long discussion about how should we change the game design. This discussion spanned hours and hours. The third thing involved an even bigger group of people. Specifically, it was the previous Final Fantasy XIV development team, and then the current development team, the operations team, the marketing team, promotions team, PR team. We went through all of those teams, and I asked them, what would you change about Final Fantasy XIV? And they gave me a huge list. I consolidated all of those separate lists together, and then we had to decide, okay, what are we going to do, and what aren't we going to do? And when would we do it? So I went and assigned a priority. Sorry, this is funny because it feels like a story that has no end in sight. It feels like it's just going to keep going forever. So I went and assigned a priority order for each of those things. And through that process, it was decided that for the companion chocobos, we should do that earlier. So when you look at the PR campaign for 8.0, you might be thinking that we're just focusing on the 8.x series. But what we really want to do is also look at Final Fantasy XIV as a whole and see what kind of evolution we can incorporate into Final Fantasy XIV. So this includes the 8.x series, as I already announced, and some big things coming in 8.1 and 8.2. But what we want to do is further evolve the game moving forward as well as and continually providing those big updates. And this would happen right up until to the run of 9.0. But we wouldn't stop just there. We would still want to continue evolving it further.
I thought this question was about chocobos.
He was very tired.
Old man rambling.
I can only assume maybe that I don't know. I mean,
I liked the parts where he acknowledged all of the things that he managed to achieve himself, and all of the teams that he got involved, and just the whole story was, it was a fantastic ride. But it once again, it barely touched upon the question and certainly didn't answer it.
But what I wanted
he's incredible at this.
He is very good. He is very, I mean,
the three-step plan, bringing in the three-step plan halfway.
Great.
Incredible maneuver.
I mean, it is good. I mean, what I wanted to know from this question is like, why? I feel like that's what that is the question. Like, why did you choose this?
Yeah.
But we didn't really actually get an answer to that. But it was nice to hear about his...
Why was it something you wanted to work on earlier compared to other things in this massive list you compiled?
I think Selena's right as well. I was going to say this earlier, but I think there might be something lost in translation here, but also him wanting to hold back because he actually wants to talk about this later at some other event.
Sure.
I don't know. But he's also so polite that he wants to give all the journalists like a full answer. And I respect that. Like, he doesn't like just go, I can't say that. No comment. Like, he goes anyway. He gives you something.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know.
Strange old man, okay?
Yeah.
Leave grandpa alone.
I can understand him not saying what it is. I want to know why
it's for the mystery. The mystery
why does
of
he
Chocobo.
Think that? What does he? I mean, I can answer the question in some respects.
Yeah.
They've already confirmed that we'll be able to go in with light parties consisting of 2 players and 2 chocobos, people who are playing the game together. That would have been a great part of this answer.
Yeah.
Why do they think this will add to the game right now?
I could speculate. It could also be like, we haven't touched this system for a very long time. We think it needs an update.
Yeah,
he didn't say that.
No,
he just talked about the different teams that he talked to and all that he achieved on his own.
Did the community reaction?
We're getting into the real serious content.
This is
real stuff.
This is the one I'm most interested in.
Did the community reaction to Chort take you by surprise?
Yes.
Yoshida says, honestly speaking, I just don't know why this is such a thing. How many people asked about Chort? Oh, there's a few. I'm really glad to hear that Chort is so well received. But honestly speaking, I just couldn't really understand. Like, what's the appeal of Chort? Of course, we do understand that he's very popular and there have been many memes, but really, I just couldn't understand, like, just why. So, if anything, I would love to hear from your perspective. But I should say though, I did see that there was also news coverage about Short. So thank you very much for writing that as well.
He's right.
Yeah,
there was news coverage about Short.
Short made the news. I can understand maybe a little bit. I mean, this is some huge bulky guy, and then suddenly, well, he's standing there, and then he's like rolls. So from that perspective, I can kind of understand. But yeah, when these kinds of things happen and the player community picks up on it on social media and they combine various things, they create their own memes. When these kinds of things happen for us, it's really great for us to see because we are involved in creating this entertainment and it's really fun for us. So if people in the community also find some unexpected points of appeal in any content that we produce moving forward, do make your voices heard. Make memes. Because the development team is looking at all of the responses on social media. We very much do enjoy looking at them, and we do have these smirks on our faces when things like these happen.
I'm smirking when I short too.
Yeah.
They like short.
I expect we'll get some kind of Chort minion at some point, but I don't see how else they can use Chort in the future, considering we killed them.
No need to use him. He will just live on. That moment when he appeared.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone saw the glory of Chort, surely. I mean, he's amazing. He's just, look at him. And he's called Chort.
He's called Short, yeah. There's a lot of...
he writes himself as an amazing character.
True.
Short in the Clidium, bro. Like, come
I
on.
mean,
exactly, yeah.
That's free.
That's fucking patch, dude. How did you cultivate a fan base that loves to sit through almost 3 hours of Keynote like a B2B audience?
Huh?
What a question. How did you cultivate a fan base that loves to sit through almost 3 hours of Keynote like a B2B audience? B2B?
What is B2B?
Business to business.
Oh, business to business.
Yeah, so like selling people, like, you know, you come to a work presentation or conference.
Invest in our company sort of thing.
What a strange question to ask. Okay. So the question here states, how did you cultivate fan base? But it's definitely not that kind of like one-directional cultivation, as it were. I love that he's kind of throwing shade at the reporter, being like, you're asking, how did I cultivate a fan base? Is that what you're asking? I mean, I don't know if he Yeah, I mean, it's a weird question to ask. Could I see maybe a show of hands? How many of the media have been here since 1.0 or A Realm Reborn? Or A Realm Reborn. He had to throw that in there because there wouldn't be many 1.0.
1.0 would be hardly any.
Oh, thank you so much for sticking with us for so long. I think the situation around Square Enix back at that time was not so good. I remember I went around traveling and saying hello to the media, and I was told by the media that Square Enix was this secretive company, and they don't really tell us that much. That's so true. In 1.0,
that is really true.
And even other games around that era, they just kind of released a game, and that was it.
Are you saying that? Are you saying Tanaka wasn't the bastion of openness and visibility within a company?
I feel so bad for him every time we talk about him, because I just remember first of all, the photo. If you watched our weekly, you know what I'm talking about. Him just standing lost in some sort of media event. That's one thing. But the other thing is him in the few press conferences that he did, looking absolutely lost. Like, that man was adrift.
We know who some of the people that were involved in 1.0, and can you just imagine the teamwork and chemistry between Tanaka and Soken and Koji?
Oh, God.
It was rough. I think I showed some in Fallen Rise, but if you can still find them online of the interviews with Tanaka from 1.0, just take a moment and just feel that secondhand like pain that you get from watching that, because he doesn't know what the game is, I am pretty sure, and he is like he's from a different era of like being he's corporate. He's not approachable in that way. Like, he's very like strict and closed off, but also he's probably sitting there promoting a game that he knows is not ready, by the way. Like, he knows that Square Enix is pushing this game out before it's ready, and he knows. So it's very painful to see him in these promo interviews.
He probably still called it Vanadil.
Man, definitely right about. You're definitely right about Square Enix being a bad spot during that era, though. Like I don't know if you remember that early 2010s of any Japanese game company. They were they were doing real bad.
Yeah.
Famously, I don't want to call him a hack, but remember Kenji Inafune? He had his moment in the light. That was the guy who made Mega Man.
Oh yeah.
And then Mighty Number 9.
Right.
He famously said like that Japan is like falling behind in video games, it's falling apart, and that we're not really keeping up with Western games.
Yeah.
You know, in the end, he's sort of right. He's in a way, in the current state now, at least. Maybe we're just a little bit too early.
It's possible you can be right without having the solution.
He was right, but at the wrong time.
Well,
he wasn't early. He was just the wrong time.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think it was just the wrong person.
Yeah. Yes, that too.
It wasn't up to him to be the one to fix it.
No. Yeah, but even like with when Tanaka was doing the interviews, they were very few. I think in total, maybe he did 4 or 5 interviews compared to like Yoshi-P doing like a full, thing now. Like he's talking to the fans. I'd never see Tanaka at a fucking fan fest. No way he would ever do that. He showed up in like a blazer. Like he would. He was. It was very strange. Okay. As a director from Square Enix, I was told from people in the media that was the first time that they've met a director who actually says so much and provides so much information. And this was not only when I was talking to members of the media, but to the players as well. So I thought it's really important to be honest and upfront. So if we failed, we should explain. Why did we fail? If we decided to do something and we decided it's necessary, we should explain why it's necessary and also how would we achieve it. And if we do get requests which we cannot address, then we should also explain the reasons behind that as well. So I thought it's very, very important to be upfront and be completely honest about why we do the things we do. And I've been doing this for 16 years. And that is true. He changed a lot. And he was praised by a lot of communities at the time when he started doing the live letters and stuff, because that was not the norm at the time.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like he was one of the innovators of the sort of like director/dev team directly to the fan base in terms of communication.
Yes.
Publishers definitely liked it for a long time when game development was more of a black box. It still sort of is now, but like they never like led you behind the scenes unless it was like a curated like little interview or spot or whatever.
Okay, so this applies not only to us on the development team, but also to the players, the player community, and also the media. I like to think of it that we are not separate entities, but rather we are all together as one community. And I think this process of being transparent and engaging together in order to gain a level of mutual understanding is what's helped cultivate this fan base together. Whether it's been something really minor about 14 or whether it's a major piece of content, whenever there is something that needs to be talked about, I'd love for us to talk about it together and for us to get excited together as we work together on Final Fantasy XIV. So, of course, we do want to continue maintaining a good relationship with the media, but also equally with our players, and continuing to engage proactively so that we can further consolidate and strengthen our relationship together and move forward together as one. But on a final note, I do also think that an almost 3-hour keynote is a little bit too long. So I do promise you, moving forward, I will be more attentive with my timekeeping. I think most people wouldn't. It's fine. I mean, it depends on what's in the keynote, obviously. Like but I didn't feel like the keynote was too long last time. Was it?
No, I like when it's long, and I feel sad when I know that it's getting close to the end because I'm going to stop learning new things.
Yeah,
exactly. FanFest is already like an event.
Yeah,
but the keynote is the main.
That's the main event, almost of the event.
You don't know if the dev panel is going to be good or the community panel is going to be good or whatever.
Right.
You know the keynote is all good stuff, and you want it to last as long as possible.
Chad is bringing up a fair point, though, that there is a section of the keynote that is just recapping what
That's true.
That they could have lost, possibly.
If he genuinely thinks, okay, we cut that bit, that section of the keynote, that's fine. As long as he doesn't like rush through the new stuff, because that's what we're here for. Yeah.
It's a very recap heavy fan fest. The EU one.
The EU one.
I think it's going to be the case where the NA one and the JP one get kind of just the most.
Yeah, it seems like it.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but I think it's all thanks to the cheers from you, all of the players that really helped me and gave me that drive to finish the presentation. So once again, I'd just like to take this opportunity to say thank you to all of the members of the media, and also thank you to all the members in our community for your support. Which team, next question, which team approached the other first for the Beyond the Livestream crossover? Yoshida says, the first person to approach the other team. Well, it was the first person to do the approach.
I was.
Sorry, I was like, wait.
That was a key
that changed the sentence completely. Okay, I was the first person to do the approach. I see. As you all know, right from A Realm Reborn, the main concept of Final Fantasy XIV is that we want to provide a sort of Final Fantasy theme park for our players. So right from the beginning, we've always had many requests to have some sort of big collaboration with other titles, whether it be costumes or characters making an appearance. But I'm a member of the board, and I knew that the Final Fantasy VII Remake series was in development, and I knew that more than anything, what the fans would be anticipating is that they just want the 7 Remake series to be released as fast as possible. And that's also something that I wanted myself, because personally, I'm also a fan of Final Fantasy VII. It's for this reason that I thought that I didn't want us to take a half-baked approach with a crossover, because I didn't want to distract the Final Fantasy VII Remake team from their hard work. And it's for that reason that I thought that we really need to decide on when we would do the crossover. The timing would be really important. But now, Final Fantasy VII Revelation has been announced, and the development team is doing their last push for development, so they're really picking up the pace and doing their final push to release the game. So I thought now would be a good opportunity for us to do a big collaboration with the Final Fantasy VII Remake series. And with both titles collaborating together, we could work together to generate more excitement and hype around the Final Fantasy franchise as a whole. I had a discussion with with Hamaguchi-san about this, and I also talked to Kitase-san as well, and we decided that this would be a good timing, and we are really going big with this collaboration, and both teams are putting in their best efforts for it.
Ooh.
Yeah, I guess there's not much to say about that. That's just, yeah, that is what it is.
So the current speculated release date for 7 Revelation is Q1 or Q2 for 2027.
Okay.
That's fine in terms of the raid series then. I
guess so.
True.
So this is the 8-man raid. So we will get the first part of the 8-man raid before the game releases in all likelihood.
Yeah, looks like it. So, yeah.
True. But I suppose it could tackle concepts from just the first part of the game. Remake.
Well, it's a great time for that to be added to the game, because people will be winding up for the release of the game, and then suddenly there's like a 7
synergy.
Yeah, exactly. So they'll get in 14 first, get their fix, and then the release of what's it called? Remake? Whatever it's called. Revelation. That's it. Yeah. So that's a good, I think it's good timing. Yeah, that's true. They said they did not say anything about this being Revelation themed. It's a 7 collaboration.
What if it was specifically an FF7 as in not of the remake?
Oh my god.
It's not
it's all like blocky PS1. It's so good.
That could be so fun. You remember in Remake when was it the that Fort Condor minigame where it turned all the characters into the like original old school ones.
Yeah.
Imagine if it could turn our characters into those polygons for the raid series. That would be so cool.
That is a cute idea for the mini games in the Gold Saucer, though. Maybe if they could do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what
on their side.
Sorry, what did you say, Roland?
I said I wonder if there's gonna be a collab on their side.
Oh yeah.
Of
probably not much.
Like 15 Cat Girl or whatever.
They did.
Yeah, but 7 hasn't really had any collaborations in it, has it?
It's too serious for that, I think.
Yeah, I don't think they did, because 15 went overboard, I will say, with their collab. Like Cup Noodle.
Oh, yeah, they had the
even though
Cup
Cup Noodle
Noodle
was funny, but like
and Assassin's Creed too.
there was a
right?
lot of
Yeah,
crossovers.
Tomb Raider and
I don't really want them to. Let's leave 7 pure.
Yeah, I kind of like that 7 is like so serious that they're like, and it's also so big that they don't fucking need it. They're like, we don't need sponsor for this game. It's gonna sell anyway.
What if they bring over the mini game that you I know you love so much, the one where you had to the blocky characters and you were fighting each other.
Oh God,
that
no!
was good.
Oh God, no! That we spent days in stream time on that goddamn mini game. I'm pretty sure we did an entire stream on that. Didn't we? Maybe we took a break in between, maybe, but
it might not have been entirely on that mini game, but there definitely were streams that were entirely in the Gold Saucer.
We made a big mistake being like, let's just do everything in this game. It wasn't a good idea.
We'll do it again.
We'll see. I don't
We'll
know.
see.
I don't know if we can do that again. We did it last time because we had I don't know. We had locked in at that point, so I felt like we had to do it.
We didn't think it would be that long because it wasn't that long in Remake.
Right. No, that's true. Anyways, moving on. How do you ensure new players will have a great experience going from the beginning of A Realm Reborn to Evercold? Will there be changes to fasten or alter the new player experience? Depending on playstyle, it can easily take around 300 hours just playing around the story. I think this answer actually did get picked up. I think there has been some news about this.
Who is this journalist?
I don't know. There are many.
Fasten?
These are different journalists.
I mean, Hasten.
This is a question we've been getting for a long time, right from the beginning. We are considering 2 things to address this. The first one is something that we will carry out at or before Evercold's release timing. The second one involves a system, but we are currently reviewing the possibility of this. So right now, we're still considering its feasibility and addressing the question about whether or not we could be able to introduce the system. And for these things that I'm talking about, there's a non-zero possibility of us being able to implement it for 8.0. So there is a possibility that we could make it. So I do appreciate that back at the time of A Realm Reborn, I had personally said that I do want players to enjoy the story. Or previously said that I want players to enjoy the story. So I would like them to have a fresh experience right from A Realm Reborn. But now that we are at this point, we have begun thinking about accommodating these kinds of requests. And I think from the 2 things that I have hinted at here, one of them, at least, you might be able to know more about at the Tokyo Fan Fest. But I think you can think positively about this. I do apologize for the ambiguity, but I would very much appreciate it if you can convey your reader base that I am thinking very positively about the possibility of incorporating something and accommodating those requests. This has spawned the usual discussion about what is 14. You know, I understand that it can be daunting now to start this game and have 400 hours of MSQ to go through. But in the end, I think that's the game.
Yeah.
But I understand that it's also a social game, which, if you have friends that already play the game, having to get through 400 hours before you can do the latest stuff. But to me, if I had a friend that's just starting, I would play with them through like the content and stuff. Like that would be my flow here. I wouldn't be like, oh, just skip the content, bro. Come to the end game with me. Because I like that they're going through it because I want them to be connected to the world in the way that I am, right? Like I want them to have that experience.
Enjoy their reactions.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah, but the game doesn't incentivize that really.
No,
like
I guess
you just kind of you'll do a dungeon with your friend, and maybe you just walk around them as they're doing their quest, and then they tell you, oh, I'm gonna do the cutscene. I was like, well, we'll stream it to me on Discord or something. It's not you're not
That's
really
true.
Nothing built into the game to incentivize that.
No,
that I agree with.
And then the social pressure, even if you have like the most amazing friends that help you get to 14, right? Let's say they play every day in their FC, and you're there doing your quest or whatever. You're gonna be seeing them do stuff that you can't do for a very long time. And it is, that will be pushing you to go through things maybe like a little bit quicker, at a pace that is like not enjoyable, maybe. I mean, I can't say I haven't been on the other side, but I have been on the side of helping someone get into the game, and it's rough. It's a little. I mean, I don't want to say it, but we're the One Piece guys. We're the people that now say, yeah, just watch 400 episodes of this anime. Anime is great. It gets good after the first arc, I promise.
I don't think that's true in this game, though. I'm surprised that people don't enjoy from day one. I adored A Realm Reborn.
Yeah,
I like A Realm Reborn.
I thought it was an absolutely amazing time. Sure, the stuff between A Realm Reborn Close and Heavensward was rough. I agree with that. I felt daunted doing the 100 extra quests, sure. But I adored the original Realm Reborn.
A Realm Reborn, when I first played through it, was great. I never thought at any point that story was bad. It does have some dips, well, except for one part, which is the Titan thing. I think everyone felt that one, that little dip in the story there. But they've addressed that now, and that has been, they've cut a lot of stuff back and changed a lot of things, streamlined the story. I think currently A Realm Reborn should be pretty good now. As a story, like just baseline is, there is a plot there and it's pretty good. So
I think when I say the comparison to One Piece, though, is that like it's a commitment. There's over 1,000 episodes of One Piece. When you tell someone to get into that, it's not just like, I'll watch an episode a day. There's 1,000 episodes. Like it's a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think based on what everyone else is saying, I think I'm the lowest on A Realm Reborn. A Realm Reborn wasn't really what pulled me into 14. It wasn't really until Heavensward that the story really got to me. So I can understand why, especially the fact that they have to get through A Realm Reborn first, is a barrier to entry. When you want to grow a user base, having something that is so intimidating is always going to be a massive barrier to a significant number of the audience that you could be having. So I think a solution to this problem is not a bad thing for the state of the game or the health of the game.
I mean, I do agree with what Chat has been saying, by the way, is that a lot of people, when they introduce their friend to the game, they apologize for A Realm Reborn's quality. I've done that before. And that is not good because you're telling them that you're about to play a bad game.
Yeah, it'll make them not
it'll get better, bro. Which is also something I personally hate to hear myself when someone's like, oh, you want to watch this show? This show is really great after season 4. Why the fuck would I watch? What the fuck do you mean? Why was it shit for 3 seasons before?
Reborn's 100 hours long too.
Yes,
that's a lot to be apologizing for.
Yes,
and it's not gonna do you any favors to get people into the game.
Yeah,
it also doesn't help if you start saying, "Well, oh man, you're gonna love this expansion, but the next one's fucking shit." But then it gets good, and the next one's fucking
yeah.
I think that's some advice to get people in the game. Maybe don't talk about the game.
Don't
like that.
Just say the game is good.
Now,
just say it's good.
Compared to like when I first started. Firstly, it was in the nice interim period between finishing university and employment, so that was a factor, I suppose. But also, Heavensward was the only thing out.
Yeah.
But I appreciate what you're saying about One Piece now, because starting now, I'd think, God, there's so much ahead. But by the time if you start now and you're like reasonably casual, there's a chance that by the time you finish, like you catch up to Evercold, the next expansion's been revealed. We're ready to get on with it.
I mean, also with One Piece, they are making a sort of similar to how they did with Dragon Ball Z. They're making a shortened, more condensed, tighter version of the story for people to watch, so that they don't have to watch 1,000 episodes. It would help if we could do something.
That is what I'm hoping that system is. That they have a digest version, like a shortened version of the MSQ that you can tick off, and then you'll just get the basic beats of the story, so you can quickly catch up. because I think you still need to know the core story of each expansion to like really appreciate the game. I think so.
Yeah. I think as long as you're going to have the story be mandatory to like get to the game, like the end game stuff, or like the or whatever you want to do, they should really consider alternative paths. If you want to buy story skips, you know, whatever, that's
fine. That exists.
But yeah, I should really do something. Just do something.
They should also not make that like the preferred way to play, because there will still be people out there that want those 400 hours of MSQ, and that is the game. That's the core. That's the product. So it's important that you don't like make it so that like, oh, hey, welcome. You might want to skip. You might want to do the digest right now. Like, it's important to do it, you know.
I mean, as far back as like Mass Effect, they had a means of like front loading you into like Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3 with if you hadn't played the previous games. They had like, I think in Mass Effect 2 it was a comic like story that allowed you to make some of the important choices in Mass Effect 1 while also understanding the general plot. I think something like that could be another possibility as well.
Yeah.
It's like the same like Witcher where you have a cutscene at the start.
So I think they're I mean, at this point the game is so old that we have so much content that it only makes sense to do something like this. Of course, the One Piece thing is a very great example. Okay, and comparison. All right, oh God, where are we? There's so much left still. Yeah. You mentioned on stage you started with Final Fantasy 14 when you were 37, and now you're 53. How has your approach to the game's development changed in that time? Does retirement ever cross your mind, or do you remain committed to the game's development? They always ask this. When are you going to retire, old man? Yoshida says...
It's not that old.
No. So when it comes to the question about whether my basic approach or mindset of game development has changed, essentially speaking, nothing has changed. I've given a lot of interviews about this topic, and there have been various development-focused interviews, so I have provided long answers in the past, so I will omit some details, but essentially speaking, my fundamental approach hasn't really changed. That said, with time, the approach for game design does need to change, because it's not necessarily the case that good game design in the past would be appropriate for today, and would still be engaging and fun today. Sometimes there are cases where a game design approach that would have worked in the past wouldn't necessarily be appropriate with how the times have changed today. This applies
like 1.0.
Like 1.0, yes. This applies to 14 as well. It changes the way that I think about how we go about designing things in 14, but it would also apply to working on any title other than Final Fantasy 14. So I think in a sense, this is one approach where I've kind of upgraded my own personal mindset. In Japan, there is something that we'd say, we call it a time progression battle. And of course, in these modern times as well, people have less time than they can use. They have less free time on their hands. So we need to really think about what would be fun and what would be engaging based on these new conditions that we have. That in itself is a challenge, but I also think that it's very fun working on this kind of new situation that we have in. And I have not once thought about retiring. If Square Enix comes to me and goes, well, we no longer need you, well, then I guess I'll go. Because after all, I wouldn't really feel motivated to work at a place where they say that they don't need me. But of course, hypothetically, yeah, that makes sense. But of course, hypothetically speaking, if I was to leave Square Enix, of course, right now, I'm 53, and in Japan, starting from the age of 60, you can retire.
What?
But that's crazy.
What?
That's crazy.
So young.
But still,
and they get so old.
Yeah. But still, actually, I would continue developing games. I might work with a close-knit team of my own friends, and we would gather the funds together and develop titles together. And as for Final Fantasy 14, I've previously said this to all of our players, but 14 really is my life's work. So as long as the 14 players don't go and say, hey Yoshida, you've got to quit, I do intend to continue working on the title.
Was that look because of the fact that there are people that say that?
Yeah. God.
Well, that was nice.
I hope he stayed off social media during the Dawn Trail release. which he did not. Today, you revealed more character customization, including the ability to remove certain markings and changeable horns across races. You mentioned that you've been relaxing your views on lore accuracy, and we've already seen that through unlocking glamour restrictions earlier this year. What has caused you to change your attitude towards this? Yoshida says, so yes, I do think that there have been changes. As a game developer, I think it is our responsibility to come up with the lore, the world, and the rules of the game, and then to provide that to the players. Because of that, I think from a creative perspective, we are really particular about how we want that world to be, and we are really honest about how we want that when it comes to the how we want that world to be. So of course, we do understand that players may provide their own requests, but when it comes to the question about why we would not want to implement those things, well, let's take, for example, the Mikote. The Mikote are a hunter tribe and a warring tribe, so it's only natural that they would have their war makeup. And previously, I said that we would not remove that war makeup from the Mikote. In the past, we did receive feedback from the players. They were like, yeah, we want to turn it off. We want this makeup off. But I refused, because I said, these are the rules of the world that we provided, and this is the lore behind the race, and it was, for this reason, why we previously have not allowed that. But when it comes to this lore and being very particular about the lore, I thought to myself that this can also be considered an aspect of role-playing. And in that regard, I kind of upgraded my own mindset and my approach to it. So, in Final Fantasy XIV, we have the Mikote, and as announced in patch 8.1, there will be the option to remove the makeup or switch it off. But as a player myself, if I'm playing with a Mikote, I would personally not turn it off. The reason being that I love the lore behind Final Fantasy XIV and the unique characteristics of each race. But when it comes to the question of following that lore and being really loyal to that lore, I think it's not really a question of good or bad, but now I begin to think that it's more a question of how particular you are about that aspect, and that's more tied into role-playing. We have millions of players, and even if there was just one player who was really particular about that, and they would lose that option to have that design in the way that they prefer, I thought this wasn't really the direction that we wanted to take, but rather we want to give the choice to players. So for those players who are really particular about how they want to present their characters, then we can provide that choice to them. So now we have that option, and that formed the basis of this approach that I'm taking. So for those players who are really particular about the lore and they're thinking to themselves, oh Yoshida, this change is such a shame. If they're like me and they really just want to be particular about how their Warriors of Light is represented, then they can just do the same as me and make sure that the display is switched on. So we want to provide that choice to the players, and we don't want to force the players down any particular route. So really, it's just providing that option for the players so that they can be particular about what sorts of roleplay they want to do. That was a choice that I made as a game designer, and I wanted to provide that option to all of our players.
Yeah, but all those people out there are going to ruin my immersion.
Exactly.
Well, NPCs are still going to have it. You know, the lore applies to all NPCs, so you're not going to see it in cutscenes. You're not going to see it anywhere.
No.
So it's just for players, and you know, there are some strange lore of
and like
inconsistencies already in the world. Let's be real with players.
You know who is my favorite war paint? China's. Really relevant to his character.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It did feel like those were the same three sentences, but that's just Yoshi-P. He's a talker. Okay, gosh, that was long. There's going to be a short post show after this, but we'll get through it. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. Remember to follow on our socials at SpeakersXIV, twitch.tv/SpeakersXIV, Discord and chat if you want to join our Discord server. And if you're watching on demand, link is in the description. If you're watching live, like I said, there will be a post show. Well, like I say, there will be a post show after this. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.